With an area of 17.1 million square kilometers, Russia is the largest country in the world. It's so vast that approximately 11% of the world's total land area belongs to Russia. Alaska used to be part of Russia, but it was sold to the United States for just $7.2 million. Within 50 years, the United States made back 100 times what it paid. The country spans 11 different time zones, with a time difference of 10 hours between its two furthest points. Russia has the longest land border in the world, second only to China in length, and it also has the most neighboring countries. From Norway and Finland to North Korea, China, and the United States, Russia shares borders with 16 countries in total. Its population is approximately 146 million, and 80% of the population is ethnic Russian, while the remainder consists of 185 different ethnic groups. There are about 11 million more women than men, a disparity primarily caused by the loss of 26 million men during World War II. The gap has continued to widen due to factors like alcohol consumption, with research from 2005 showing that 37% of men will die from alcohol-related causes before the age of 55. Russia's capital, Moscow, home to about 10% of the population, is the 23rd most populous city in the world and the second most populous city in Europe after Istanbul. Lake Baikal, located in Russia, is the largest freshwater lake by volume and the deepest in the world. It holds about 20% of the world's fresh water. Baikal has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1996 and is considered the oldest lake on Earth, estimated to be 25 to 30 million years old. Russia also has several territorial disputes, one of which involves the Kuril Islands in the east. Both Japan and Russia claim sovereignty over these islands, and as a result, the two countries never signed a peace treaty after World War II, meaning they are still technically in a state of war. Russia is known for its cold climate, and only 35% of its land is habitable. In some northern cities, like Yakutsk, people park their cars in heated garages and wrap their car batteries in blankets to prevent them from freezing. In the village of Oymyakon, located in the Sakha Republic, the temperature can range from 37 C in the summer to 68 C in the winter, a temperature difference of 105 C over the course of a year. Russia's vast forests cover about 50% of the country and account for 20% of the world's forests. Russia also holds the largest natural gas reserves in the world, and is the third largest producer of oil, while ranking second in oil exports. Despite possessing 10% of the world's arable land, the short harvest season means that much of the food is preserved in pickled form. There is a severe shortage of fresh fruits and vegetables, most of which are imported and often not fresh. Regarding daily life in Russia, many tourists report that hardly anyone speaks English, and people often complain about the lack of smiles from Russians and the indifference of workers. This is partly because Russians find it odd to smile at strangers, which can make them seem distant in communication. The currency of Russia is the Russian ruble. As of 2024, Russia ranks 12th in the world by gross domestic product. However, this doesn't necessarily mean that the people are wealthy. Despite having natural resources worth $75 trillion, 15% of the population lives below the poverty line. The government controls 70% of the economy, with the largest companies being state-owned. The busiest McDonald's in the world is located in Russia, with over 900 seats. When it first opened, around 30,000 people flocked to the restaurant on its opening day. This was a case where communism lost to capitalism. Corruption is deeply embedded in Russian culture, even among government officials. For instance, people often worry more about how much bribe they will pay if they are caught by the police for a traffic violation, rather than fearing the fine itself. Even at universities, students sometimes pay for grades. As a result, corruption is rampant, and the rule of law is frequently ignored. It's also common for anyone with a car to engage in unofficial taxi services. Furthermore, all vehicles are required to have dashboard cameras, which help prevent car theft or hit-and-run accidents. as everything is recorded. Russia has made significant contributions to space exploration. It was the first country to send a living being into space, launch the first satellite into the sun's orbit, send the first spacecraft to the moon, and photograph the moon's dark side. It also sent the first woman into space and holds the record for the longest time spent in space by a human. Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, a Russian scientist and explorer, is considered the father of rocket science. Since 2000, Vladimir Putin has been at the helm of Russia, and he is currently one of the wealthiest individuals in the world. However, freedom of speech is limited in Russia, with many journalists facing persecution. Since 1992, 2 out of every 3 journalists who have died have been murdered. We've reached the end of the video. As the number of subscribers on the channel and the views on the videos increase, you can expect more detailed and longer videos about different countries. If you're someone who's curious about other cultures and looking for this type of content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the videos.